This is Ultimate Soccer with Soccer Steve.
And welcome back in, Canadian soccer fans. We're going to talk about the defenders getting on the plane, and that's Johnny Herdman's squad going to Qatar for Canada, the 2022 Qatar World Cup. Now, there's 7 defenders that I've picked. You may well indeed pick other defenders, and I endorse that. You should be looking around to see who else is in the running. But the 7 defenders that I'm going to focus on for Team Canada are as follows. Starting off with Aleister Johnson. Johnson's played 26 times for Canada. He's also scored a goal, so that's not bad for a defender, but he's a super defender. He's at CF Montreal, playing a great season, and everything that he does seems to come off. He's definitely a player that I want to start every game in Qatar, and he's got a special role to play once we get to Qatar. I'm going to tell you about that. Aleister Johnson, Canada's secret weapon at Qatar. I'll tell you about that in a show coming. But first defender on the plane flying to Qatar for my money is Aleister Johnson. Next up, Sami Adekugbe. 31 times he's played for Canada. Only a young guy. Scored a goal as well, and he plays for Hatayspor in Turkey. I love everything about Sami. The enthusiasm, the touch play, the speed, the eagerness to get forward, and also to get back and backtrack. Guy's got it all. I love this guy, and I tell you what, he's definitely got to be on the plane, and I would like to see this guy start the game too. My wide defender, Sami Adekugbe, on the left. I'll tell you more about that in another show coming when I give you the starting 11 for Team Canada moving forward. Next up, Steven Vittori, plays for Chaves in Portugal. He's played 32 times for the national team, and he's got 3 goals. Stephen really brings a top game and shores the middle of the defence. I like everything about him, and he makes me feel confident when he's there. I guess the players around him feel confident too. Definitely another player needs to be on the plane going to Qatar. KAMAL Miller, 25 times he's played for Canada. Another CF Montreal player. Hasn't scored a goal, but he does stop you scoring goals, and that's the point. A big centre-half. Has a few clubs in his background. Recently with LAFC. Now he's with CF Montreal. KAMAL Miller is another guy getting on the plane for my money. Moving on, Richie Laryea, Nottingham Forest player, loaned out to Toronto FC, and I'm so glad he's back at Toronto FC getting games. But Richie Laryea, 30 games played for Canada, scored a goal already, and I'll tell you what, it's a good thing that Richie's back in Canada, because now he can look to get on that plane and bring the form up. And, you know, it amazes me. He doesn't play many games, but he always seems to play a decent game on the day. I love Richie Laryea, always have. Another one of my favourites. Get on the plane, Richie. Next up, DONEIL Henry. 44 times DONEIL's played for Canada. Scored a goal. He's also with Toronto FC. I like DONEIL Henry as well. Safe, composed in the mid of the defence. Doesn't seem to make many mistakes. He's always Mr. Casual on the ball, but he gets it done, and he doesn't make too many mistakes. And finally, the 7 that are getting on the plane, the final slot goes to Scott Kennedy. He plays in Jan Regensburg in Germany. Scott's already played 8 times for the national team, and he knows what the national team's all about. And as for my money, another central defender, tall fella, 6 foot plus. Scott's on the team by merit, not just per chance. Now, there's the 7 running in. If you disagree, drop a comment down below, guys. I'd love it if you did. And I'd love it if you did. I really do. Tell me who you think your 7 starters are for Team Canada. And tell me down below. Now, who else is in the running, you say? Well, let's take a look at some of the guys that are definitely in the running. We're calling these guys the backup players for the national squad, just in case someone gets injured. Now, the first defender I'm going to talk about is Zachary Brout-Girard. Plays for CF Montreal. He's played 6 times for the national team. He's also scored a goal. 23-year-old right back. I gotta say, this guy definitely needs to be in there. He gives us a different option. I like his style of play. I love his eagerness and enthusiasm. And I like the times when he really tries to get forward. Zachary Brout-Girard is our first backup defender. Next backup defender that could get on the plane, Derrick Cornelius. He's played 14 times for Canada, and he plays at Panathinaikos in Greece at the moment. 24-year-old, 6'2" centre-back. He would deservedly, in my money, take a spot on the national team should someone get injured. And remember, the backup players are on this list just in case one of those 7 that I've already nominated to get on the plane to go to Qatar, just in case one of those guys gets injured or per se maybe gets sick. Derrick Cornelius, there's the second guy as a backup player. Next player up is Frank Stewarin, plays at SV Horn in Austria. He's played a couple of times for Canada, scored a goal as well. 25-year-old, 6'1" centre-back. Frank isn't what you would say the guy who you would pick first of all. But watching him play in Austria and seeing his style of play and his confidence on the ball, etc., I think this guy deserves a place to be a backup defender. Yes, there are many more backup defenders that we could look at. And please, down below, guys, comment down below who you think should be one of the backup players. But my third backup player is Frank Stewarin from SV Horn. He brings a good game. I've watched him this season. I like what I see. And finally, the last guy to be a backup defender is Joel Waterman. Still hasn't played for Canada. Is with CF Montreal. He's 26-year-old. He's a defender come midfielder. And he's 6'2", so he's got plenty of height, plenty of frame. He has been called up into the national team and the national squad over the last couple of seasons, last couple of years, but hasn't managed to play. He's on the periphery, but for me and my money, he's another one of the defender backup players, the 4 defender backup players that I'm adding to the Defenders World Cup analysis. Let me know down below, guys, who you think your defenders are going to and who your backup players are. And if I've missed someone out, I'd love to hear. But there are reasons why I have not picked some of those guys that you will be talking about down below. Thanks very much, guys. Look in now for the next one coming up. That's going to be the midfielders going to Qatar and the backup players, and thereafter the forwards and the forward backup players. That's it for now. Join us for the next one. Midfielders going to Qatar, who are going to get on that plane. Thanks, guys. If you haven't subscribed already, please do to Ultimate Soccer. Click the little link down below, hit the notification button, and if you've got a question, hey, down below, guys, anytime. Thanks very much. We'll talk to you soon. Next up, the midfielders going to Qatar. Cheers, guys.
The Ultimate Soccer Show. Join me, listen, you'll love it. Everybody does.